analysis of our business. So, say for example, ang business natin is a restaurant. So, that's the analysis. Now, our plan is to ensure that whatever opportunity that we have identified during their analysis is that we'll able to take advantage of that. Okay? So, balik ulit tayo sa step 1. Our analysis is that, okay po, kailangan po natin, our analysis is that people are now getting lazy. They want things to be instant. Okay? They want to spend less time going to stores. They want to spend less money. Okay? Kasi pag pupunta ka ng stores, diba, kailangan mo mag-drive or kailangan mo mag-commute. Okay? They want to spend less money to order from us. That's the analysis. Now, our plan is we've wanted to utilize the technology that we have. Okay, we wanted our customers, our market to easily reach out to us, and then we can provide them the goods or services that we are providing. That's the plan. Okay, now because of that, we've wanted an application. We wanted a program or an application wherein our customers can see what are the services, what are the products that we offer. At the same time, we wanted them to utilize that application to communicate with us what they wanted. Kung gusto nila mag-order or gusto nilang mag-inquire, okay? So, that's the plan. Now, that's your step 1 and step 2. It doesn't include any computer-related skills so far. Okay? It's just more of analysis. It's more on planning. It's all on about brainstorming, Your first 2 steps. Now, the third step is your design. Okay, now dito na papasok. Since our plan is we want an application, since we wanted an application, now we wanted to wait lang guys, let me see if nakakita niyo yung sinishare ko. See. Okay. Now, trying to put in some wait lang, mali na itong sinishare ko. Stop share. Okay. Then, let's annotate. Okay. Guys, nakikita nyo ba yung annotate? Yung text na nilalagay ko? Pa-thumbs up naman po. Hindi ko kasi makita. If nakikita ninyo. Pa-thumbs up. Yes, okay. Okay, so basically, on your step 1 and step 2, this is more on your discussions and brainstorming. Now, papasok dito yung design, guys. When we say design, dito na papasok yung ating program analyst or your system analyst. They are the one who's gonna do a blueprint of the application. No? They will identify the functionalities, no? Kung paano yung magiging itsura ng system, okay, paano na siya mag-work, ano yung makikita ng mga customers, paano siya na-navigate, okay? All of those are part or a responsibility of your system analyst or your program analyst. Okay? That's your third part. So dito, we are having computer skills na. Okay? High level computer skills. Okay? So this is not just a mere design. Yung system analyst, they provide, okay, dapat ganito. Pag open ng applications, kaya kailangan mag-login. Once nag-login, you'll identify your location, and then at the same time, it will have access to all of the information about what goods and services that the organization or business offer. Okay, yun yung design. Okay? Again, the one responsible here is your system analyst or your program analyst. Okay? Now, after that, papasok na, meron ka ng design, meron ka ng blueprint, meron ka ng idea kung ano yung itsura, kung paano yung functionality ng iyong application. Now, papasok dito yung development. Now, you will develop the program or the system that you have designed. And guys, this is the responsibility of your developer. Okay, so dito, we can see here all the codes, scripts, no? Dito na mismo yung parang ginagawa na talaga kung ano man yung dinesign ni system analyst and program analyst. Okay, take note, this is the responsibility of a developer. Again, it requires high-level computer skills. Okay? So, that's your developer. Now, pagkatapos nagawa ni developer, okay, nagawa ko na po siya. So, whatever the system analyst and program analyst required, lahat ng functionalities, okay, lahat ng features ng application, gagawin niya ni developer. So, after developer have completed that, we will move to your testing. Okay? So, ano po yung testing? Okay. So, parang ano yan, guys? Parang you try to see kung ano yung dinevelop ni developer. Yung ba talaga yung gusto mong application? Yung ba, does it match what was designed by the system analyst? Okay? So, usually, sinong gumagawa nito? It can be the system analyst or the business users. Okay, sino po yung business users? The business users ay, guys, it's the people who did the analysis and planning. Okay, so parang ano to, guys, parang preparation of an event, diba? Parang it's a preparation of an event. Now we're in, okay, gusto kong magpakasal. So this is the plan. Pupunta ako sa coordinator. Hey, coordinator, this is what I wanted. So, papakita sa'yo ng coordinator, oh, ito po yung magiging design ng venue. Okay? Ito po yung magiging menu and whatever. And then, you have the developer. Parang sila yung workers. Sila yung will be responsible for doing or executing it. Okay? So, again, yung testing, it's very, very important, no? Napaka-importante ng testing because there, you'll see kung tama ba, okay, yung ginawa, Are you satisfied with what was developed, of what was made? At the same time, does the program or the system that was developed really, what do you call this one? Address yung, yung analysis and planning natin from step 1 and step 2. That's very, very important. Kahit na napaka-high-end yan, no? Kung if it doesn't really hit, no? Kung hindi talaga niya na-address yung main concern natin from the very beginning, it doesn't make sense. Okay? So there are 2 scenarios in your testing. First is that, okay siya, we are good. Then that's fine. We can proceed with our next step. And, for example, we're not satisfied. Sitingin natin parang kulang pa. Okay? Babalik yan sa step 3. Babalik yan sa step 3 kay system analyst or program analyst for them to redesign, no, to improve or to update it based on the testing. And again, babalik ulit kay developer for them to develop or for them to modify whatever they have initially developed. Again, after development, babalik at babalik yan sa testing. Okay? After everyone is satisfied with the program or the system that was developed, ayan, pupunta na po tayo sa deployment. Okay? Para siyang job deployment, meaning, okay, papasok ka na. Ganon yun dito. Deployment meaning, we will now implement or we will now run the system. Ipapagamit na natin siya sa ating mga customers or sa ating mga empleyado. Now, who's the one responsible for doing the deployment? Usually, it's the program manager or the system admin. Okay? Guys, this is very important when we're talking about the program manager or the system admin or the system manager. Okay? It's very important. Take note. This is usually yung malabas sa questions sa exam. That developers, take note, the one who's responsible in the developing of the code of the system or the program does not have, I repeat, does not have the ability to deploy whatever program or system they have developed. Okay? Again, this is a control. This is a segregation of duty control. Okay? It's a segregation of duty control. We are avoiding that. Okay? Laging chine-check yan sa audit. And laging nagiging issue yan, guys. Pag nakikita natin na may developer na may access to deploy any systems or program in the system. Okay? So, take note, okay? All of these important stakeholders. We have the developer, we have the system analyst, we have the program manager, and the system admin. It's very important. Developer should not have the access to deploy. Okay? So, once na-deploy na siya, pwede na siyang gamitin. That's when we say it's already running. It's running live. Yun yung term natin doon. It's running live, meaning people can now make orders. People, based on our example, people can now see the goods and services that we are offering. Okay? Now we go to maintenance. Of course, guys, this is very important. Maintenance is wherein you make sure that whatever program or system you have implemented, you are monitoring it in a day-to-day basis. Okay? So, kaya nakikita nyo guys, si Apple, lagi siyang may mga updates. No? May bagong update na nga ulit siya eh. So, those are all part of your maintenance because you wanted to improve your system. Lalong-lalo na ngayon, ang daming mga hackers, ang daming issues when we are using the internet, no? So, yung maintenance, you improve whatever you have developed, yung mga bugs, yun, ina-address natin lahat ng mga yun. That's part of your maintenance. Evaluation, okay? When we talked about evaluation, this is wherein you evaluate if the system or the program you have implemented is still necessary. Okay? Because, again, guys, remember, right now, ang fast-paced na natin when it comes to technology. So, yung technology or yung system na inadapt mo 5 years ago or 2 years ago, it's no longer relevant today. Ganon kabilis mag-evolve yung technology na meron tayo ngayon. And right now, the competition is that the more you improve your process, the more you engage in a high-end technology, no, mas ahead ka with your competition in the market. Okay? So, that's your evaluation. Do I need to improve my system or do I need to change it? So, dyan papasok yung disposal. No? If i-improve ba natin or i-end na natin siya. I-terminate na natin siya or i-terminate na natin yung system. Papalitan na natin siya ng bago. Okay, that's your disposal. So this is what we call your system development life cycle. Also, it's very important as well for you guys to take note of this. We have different environments. Within the system. Okay, the first one is your production environment. We have your development. We have your UAT or your quality. Okay, so I just wanted to highlight these environments because they are important when we are talking about SDLC. Why? Because in this environments, dito natin ginagawa yung mga important steps. Okay, so ano po ba yung environment, no? So, imagine po guys, in a system, no? Guys, medyo ma-technology term tayo today. Okay, so just ping or stop me if you want additional information or if you think you're not understanding it, okay? Ping sa chat or just raise your hand, that's fine. Or unmute your mic, okay? Let me know if you want me to elaborate more, okay? So, imagine your system, guys. Say, for example, sa company ninyo, kung ano man yung ginagamit yung system, okay? For you, wherein you access to all of your data, wherein you do your processes. You have these different environments. Okay? Kayo guys, which is kayo yung mga business users, kayo yung mga end users, usually, kung saan nyo ginagawa yung mga, inyong mga processes, it's within the production environment. Okay? That's where operation is happening in the production environment. That's the most critical environment in the system. It's the production. Doon nangyayari lahat ng live transactions. Okay? Now you have your development. Your development usually is a mirror. No? It's not a mirror. Development is usually where the developers perform which is where they perform development of programs or system. Okay? Hindi pwedeng si developer mag-improve or gumawa or mag-anik unique siya sa production environment because that's the live environment. Nandun lahat yung live transactions. So, dun siya sa development, no? So, developer should only have access, okay, doon sa ating development environment. Doon lang siya dapat. Okay? And the program manager and the system admin is the one managing the production environment. So, you see now, meron silang sari-sariling territory within the system. Developer sa development environment. Si program manager or system admin, doon siya sa production environment. Okay? They have a segregation. Okay? Now, ano naman po yung UAT or quality? So, UAT or quality usually is a mirror of the production environment. What do you mean mirror po? As in, kamukha ni production environment. Okay? Usually, nire-refresh yung UAT, okay, para whatever data, whatever informations that we have in the production environment is nandun siya sa UAT. Bakit po yun kailangan? Okay. It's needed because sa UAT or quality environment, doon natin ginagawa yung ating testing. Okay. Doon po ginagawa yung testing. So, kailangan kamukha siya ni production environment. Kasi guys, remember, at the end of the day, ide-deploy natin yung ginawa natin sa production environment. That's why, kung ano man yung tinest natin sa UAT, it should be the same. Totally the same, 100%. Walang bawas, walang kulang. It will be the same program na i-move natin or i-deploy natin sa production environment. Okay, that's why it's very important that the production and the UAT, okay, or user access testing, that's the meaning of UAT, or quality environment are the same. They are mirror. Okay, so remember all of these environments. Usually, no, maraming pang environments yung mga different companies. Depende kung gaano kalaki yung system. But these are the basics. These are the most important environments that you guys should be aware of. Okay? So that's your system development life cycle. Again, I would wanted to highlight, before you deploy anything, it should be tested, no? And it should be approved. What do you mean approved po? Approved na okay yung application or okay yung system before mo siya i-go sa production environment. Okay. Now, my question is, delete ko na to guys ha. Delete ko na to lahat ng drawings natin. Okay. I have a question for you guys. So remember, I told you that developers should not have access to the production environment. Meaning the developers should not have the capability to deploy anything in the production environment. Can you give me a reason why? Again, this is a safe zone. There is no right or wrong answer. It all depends on how you rationalize your answer. So anyone, what do you think? Bakit dapat walang access si developer to deploy change in the production environment or even in the production environment itself? Bakit dapat wala siyang access doon? Anyone? Chat box tayo guys. Para hindi naman kayo antukin. Again, this is because of segregation. But I wanted to understand further why you think it's very critical, especially the developer. Lagi tong hina-highlight sa exam, guys. Okay, anyone from the group? Appreciate it if I can hear your voice, guys. Anyone, any wild guess or any tawag dito, idea why you think we should always make sure that developers should not have access in the production environment. Isip tayo guys, 1 minute. Okay, we have Sir Michael here, right? Sir Michael, so to prevent opportunities of fraud, yes, that's correct. Okay? So, I'll give you an example, guys, no? Kung bakit, but that's correct. That's the reason to that. So, there will always be opportunities of fraud or anything that might happen that might affect the operation as a whole. I'll give you a very good example. In a bank, no? This happened a few years ago. There is a program, no? No, it's not a program. Merong developer who had access to, so merong program, yes, merong program na. Merong program wherein, it's a program wherein, wait lang, may answer pa tayo. Could not be able to change the codes that he used to develop. Yes, definitely. That's very, very specific and that's very, very correct. Okay, thank you, Miss Janie, for that. So, based on your answer, guys, so meron tayong developer dito, no? He had developed a program wherein every time magkakaroon ng deposit or withdrawal, it will automatically update yung balance ng customer's account. Okay, that's the program. The typical program in a bank. No? So, as a developer, alam mo kasi yung pasikot-sikot dun sa program. Okay? Alam mo kung ano yung functionalities nito, kung paano mo baguhin yung functionalities, no? Because it requires a very high computer skills, no? You need to be a techie person, no? For you to be able to read codes, no? So what happened is that he was able to access the production environment. So ganito yung ginawa niya sa program, guys. Every time may na pumapasok na $100 amount, no? For example, may nagde-deposit ng every $100 amount, no, na nagde-deposit, it will automatically deduct 0.25 and then it will automatically deposit it into his account. 0.25 lang naman po eh. Yes, that's 0.25. But imagine if during the day, may nag-deposit overall ng 100 million. Okay? Let's say, for example, $10 million. No? Tanggalin mo yung 0.25 for every $100. No? Try natin. Compute natin. Divided by 100 times 0.25. That's $25,000 ang papasok sa account niya. Okay? And guys, if you are employee of the bank who cannot read codes, no, who cannot see all of those transactions, hindi mo yun mapapansin. You know? Hindi mo yun makikita. And again, what's worse is that it affects all of the transactions. because it's a program that's running for all of the transactions. Thus, anything that you change into that program affects everything. Okay, yun yung iniiwasan natin. Okay, so you guys are correct. There's an opportunity for fraud. See, kaya niyang baguhin yung codes for his advantage. Okay, and then at the same time, since alam niya yung pasikot-sikot, he can just change the code. That's why, as much as possible, companies are avoiding giving developers having access to the production environment. But that is not always the case. Okay, hindi naman perpekto yung mundo. Okay, sometimes hindi maiiwasan because maybe there are limitations. Maybe the limitations are the company is not too big. And remember, cost-benefit analysis tayo, guys. If your company is not too big, sometimes you deploy less people. So sometimes, companies let developers deploy change in the production environment. But, there's a big but in that. The condition is that you have a compensating control. Balik tayo sa internal control discussion natin. You have a compensating control to make sure that whatever changes that the developer make in the production environment is being monitored and approved. So, paano po yung ginagawa? When I was working in Coke, may ganun sila. Yung developer may access to production. So, binibigyan lang ng very limited time yung developer to have access to the production. And, merong manager sa likod niya. Nakakatawa but it's really true. Merong manager sa likod niya, binabantayan niya kung ano yung ginagawa niya. Okay? So, that's an example of a compensating control for that. But, the best practice really is, as much as possible, developers should not have any access to deploy any change or any system or any application into the production environment. That's very, very important. Okay, that's the highlight of this section actually. Okay, so thank you guys for your answer. That was very helpful. Okay, so any questions so far with system development lifecycle? Very easy lang siya, no? Para ka lang plan for an event. And the same process goes. Okay? So that's what we call your system development life cycle. Now, remember, our step 5, meron tayong natawag na testing. Now, we have here different methods in performing a system test. Okay? So, we have different methods in performing system tests. And guys, again, you don't need to memorize all of this. You just need to familiarize yourself with all of our terminologies. Now, the first approach or the first method is your black box approach. So, for example, no, meron tayong bagong system na na-develop. And then I asked Sir Drin or Sir Michael to perform a test on the application. But I didn't give them any information, no, any detailed information on how the application works or how the system works. That's what we call black box. Ano yung movie sa Netflix wherein sila? Black box ba yun? Yung parang nakapiring sila. Wait lang, tingnan natin. Bird Box. Ayun. Yan. Bird Box. It's the same thing. It's the same concept. Naka-blindfold, diba? Dun sa Bird Box. So, it's the same thing here. Parang naka-blindfold yung nagtetest because they don't have any idea what the system is about. So, ang gusto lang natin dito is for them to, siguro, our goal here is to ensure that it's working as intended. So, parang gagawin natin, Miss Janie, can you see if you want this application kung anong masasabi mo about this one? Parang ganun lang. Very general, but you don't have any idea what the application is all about. That's what you call your black box system test. Okay? So that's your black box. As in, you don't have any idea. You're blinded. Okay? Number 2, the second method is your white box approach. Usually, guys, yung white box approach, ginagawa to ng mga high-level computer skilled individuals. Meaning, they are testing the codes. Okay? They are testing the codes. So, you give them information what the code is all about. Ito yung functionality ng code. Okay? They test the code if that's how the code is really working. So, it's more detailed, okay, compare dun sa ating black box approach. Okay? So, your black box and then your white box. And then we also have what we call your gray box approach. Your gray box approach is that you are given parang pinarform yung first two. The first one is you don't have an idea or you don't have the specific details of what the system is all about. And then later on, they give you an idea of the functionalities, of the codes, what are running, what are the programs within the system. And then with that, that's what we call your gray box approach. So it's a complete package yung ating gray box approach. Okay, so it's just black, white, and gray system tests. Okay, we also have what we call your static and your dynamic testing. Okay, ano na naman to? Okay, static, no? Usually, ang gumagawa nito guys, yung mga business users. Okay, yung mga typical people who don't know how to read codes. So, ang ginagawa, usually ito yung mga individuals who perform the they are the one who perform the analysis and the what's ours for our first two our first two steps in our system development life cycle, which is your planning and your analysis. Okay? So, so you can see here, guys, it's without code execution, and it's just following a checklist or a process, and for verification only kung paano nag-work yung system. In comparison with our dynamic testing, which is usually done by their system analysis or any usually done by system analysis or anyone with a high-end computer skill, no? Kasi dito, kinetest lahat ng codes. If it's running, no? And then, this is also used for verification or validation that the system is really running as intended based on the codes and the scripts, all of the cases that have been added into the system. Okay? Again, static, dynamic. Okay? Mas ma-complicated yung dynamic testing. Kasi lahat ng codes running the system, you test them. Okay? And then we have 4 levels of testing, guys. We have our unit test, we have our integration testing, we have our system testing, and you have your acceptance testing. Now let's try to discuss them and differentiate them one by one. Okay? When we say unit testing, say for example, it's just one functionality of the system. Example do sa ating delivery application, no? Yung pag-view ng mga goods and services that the company offer, that's an example of a unit test. Yung one part, one component of the system, yun yung itetest mo. Okay, that's what we call unit testing. Okay, when we say integration testing, meaning how our individual components are working with one another. For example, yes, you can viewing the products and the services offered is working as intended. Pero pag nag-add to cart ka na, pag mag-order ka na, hindi siya nag-work. Okay? So yun yung tinetest natin, how our different or individual components are working with one another. Okay? Pag nag-add ba ako ng one item, mag-update ba yung inventory agad-agad? Pag nag-add ba ako ng isang item, tama ba yung price na mailalagay? So all of those. How the system is working, how individual components are interacting with one another. Yun yung integration testing. Okay? The interaction of the components. Now, yung system testing naman, it's the testing of the entire system. So it's not just the integration, but everything about the system. That's what you call your system testing. So medyo mas high level na siya. From very detailed to a very high level, that's your system testing. Okay? So all of this one, yung unit testing, integration testing, and system testing, these are actually part of your dynamic testing. Kasi dito guys, tinetest natin lahat ng codes. Take note ha, yung tatlo, the first 3 here are an example of your dynamic testing. Okay, because you are ensuring all of the codes are working together, no? For you to be able to ensure that the system is working as intended. And then the last one is your acceptance testing. Eto guys, static testing lang to. Meaning, tinetest lang siya ng a normal person, a business user. Nag-checklist lang to. Okay? Yung acceptance testing is your static testing. Okay? So again, see here, acceptance testing. We need to accept first the system before we can deploy it. Okay? Gets? So these are your 4 levels of testing. Okay? Madali lang siyang tandaan, guys. Okay? Next one. Of course, pag tapos na tayo sa testing, it was already approved, it was already tested, kailangan na nating i-deploy our 7th step, I believe, in our, let's see, 7 ba siya? It's our 6th step in our SDLC, which is what we call our deployment. Now, deployment and implementation are the same thing. Okay, huwag po kayong malilito. Again, marami tayong ginagamit na terminologies here in our CMA. Deployment or implementation is the same thing. Okay? Now, there are different, ang tawag dito, there are different ways wherein we can implement or deploy a system into the production environment. Okay? So, pag sinasabi na nating deployment, pag sinasabi na nating implementation, okay, lahat po to, okay, all of this, lahat will go to our prod environment. Okay? That's the goal. Kailangan natin siyang i-convert o kailangan natin siyang ilagay sa production environment so this can be utilized by our customers or by our users. Okay. First one is you have your parallel operation. Okay. Parallel operation, guys. Pinagsabay mo. Ayan, mga nag-timer dyan. Ayan. Pinagsabay mo sila. So, the thing here is, you have your old system, okay, and you have your new system. Now, hindi ka confident dun sa bago mo ngayon. That's why, you are still with your old. Okay, there's a point in time wherein pinagsabay mo sila. Okay, there's a point in time where pinagsabayan mo sila because the reason to that is that you are not confident with your new. Hindi ka confident sa bago mo. Parang, ay naku, parang pangit yung ugali. Parang timbangin ko muna. Parang ganon. Okay, so there's a point in time na pinagsabay mo sila. There are two cases here. Say, for example, no, hindi nag-work yung bago. Meron kang babalikan na old system. Charot. Kang babalikan na system. Okay? But, if nagbago, good step. Hello, new. Goodbye, old. Okay? So, ganun po yung ating parallel operation. The thing here is, guys, in parallel operation, it is low risk but high cost. Okay? Bakit low yung risk? Because if pumalya yung bago, meron kang babalikan na old. Okay? So, your operation still continues. Hindi na aapektuhan yung operation mo kasi once may pumalya or hindi nag-work out yung bago, okay, balik ka sa old. Okay? That's why it's low risk. But it's a high cost. Why? Guys, imagine, you are dating two people at the same time. Naku, napakamahal ng bilihin ngayon. Kailangan mong i-run both of them. Running both of them entails cost. Okay? Compared to just running one to two system, definitely, mas mahal yung dalawa, guys. Okay? So, that's what we call your parallel operation. You have your old system and you have your new system at some point in time running simultaneously. Okay? So, yan po yung parallel. Okay, now let's move on. So, ito, nag-two-timer to. Okay, ito, second one is what we call your direct changeover. Ito guys, yung direct changeover, medyo malakas yung loob nito. Okay? Because if you see here, okay, from old system, it automatically moves to the new system. Okay? Wala nang patumpik-tumpik pa. Goodbye old, hello new. Okay? So, direct changeover, there is no period wherein both of them are running simultaneously. This type of conversion or implementation is a low cost but a high risk. Okay? Low cost, again, iisa lang yung nirarun mo at one point in time. But it's a high risk because, for example, etong new system mo, pumalya. You need to go back to your old system. And guys, it's not as easy as changing clothes. Hindi po. It will take time. Okay? It will take time for you to go back to one system or to move to one system to another. And what's the rule? If you are wasting time, then meaning your operation is not running. If your operation is not running, meaning meron kang loss. Paano naging loss? Say for example, yung bangko. Yung bangko naka-offline for 5 days. Guys, meaning transactions cannot be made for 5 days. Sana, yung na ano mo na mga fee, hindi mo siya na-earn for 5 days. So that's already a loss from your part. Say for example, in a delivery app, 5 days hindi nag-run yung delivery app mo. Meaning, 5 days na wala kang operation. No operation means lost. Right? Because wala kang profit during that period. So, every second count. Okay? Every second count. And moving, again, from another system to another takes time. Not only time, but it entails costs as well. Kailangan mo bayaran yung mga tao and all. Okay? So, that's your direct changeover. Okay? Malakas yung loob, but your risk is very, very high. Okay? Now, you have your third method on how we can implement a system. We have what we call your pilot conversion. Okay? In a relationship, yung pilot conversion, inuunti-unti mo muna siyang kinikilala before you move in to that new relationship. Okay? So, meron tayong tinatawag na pilot. Yung pilot, guys, there is a point in time that you are running both the old, okay, and the new system. The difference of this to your parallel is that you are not running the whole system. You are not running the whole new system, but you are just running a portion of it. Okay, so mas less yung cost. Kasi konti lang naman yung niraran mo. So how does this work? An example would be, say, in an organization, you have different departments. So uunahin mo si Department 1 na ipagamit sa kanila yung system. And then, isusunod mo si Department 2, Department 3, and so on and so forth. Okay, so inuunti-unti mo siyang pinapasok sa organization. Hindi mo siya biniglang pinasok. Kaya nga pilot. Okay? So, pilot running is a medium risk but lengthy. Yun lang yung problema dito actually. It's a very long process. It takes years sometimes. Okay? Meron yung mga nag-i-implement ng mga bagong system. Guys, it takes them 5 years to do this. Okay, ganon katagal. Depende kung gaano kalaki yung system. Kung maliit lang yung system, siguro kaya ng 1 taon. Okay, when we are doing a pilot type of conversion. Okay, so inuunti-unti mo si pilot hanggang lahat na gumagamit na ng new system. That's in where unti-untiin mo rin inuunti-unti mo rin si old system na tinatanggal. Okay, so eto, inunti-unti niya, hindi niya binibigla. That's your pilot conversion. So you have 3 types of your system implementation and conversion. Okay, you have your parallel, pinagsabay niya at some point in time. You have your direct changeover, so bigla, out with the old, in with the new. You have your pilot conversion. You are taking 1 step at a time. That's your pilot conversion. Now, let's move on to your business process analysis. So, ano po ba yung business process analysis? So, we know that in an organization, we have a lot of business processes. No? Yung mga business processes, for example, is how, for example, for Coca-Cola, how you design your product until you deliver it to your customers. That's the whole business process. No? How did the company perform its operation? Okay? So, from the time na dinesign or ginagawa nila yung recipe ng Coke until such time na dineliver mismo yung product in the doorsteps of their customers. That's the process itself. So, it's a very lengthy process, but that's what an example of a business process is. Okay? So, ano ba yung business process analysis? It's actually used to analyze a business process to determine the specific way the process is presently, take note, presently being accomplished, okay, from your beginning to end. Okay? From the very beginning to the very end. Okay? So, that's your business process. When we do analysis, okay, we've wanted to understand all of these items here. What are they? First, you monitor the efficiency and productivity. You locate process weaknesses. You pinpoint potential improvements. And you determine whether potential improvements should be carried out. Okay? So we have different steps here. You determine the process to be analyzed. You collect the information about the process that will needed to be analyzed. You map the process. You analyze the process. And you determine your potential improvements. Now guys, the thing here is, business process analysis entails lahat naman ng bagay entails cost, di ba? It entails cost, no? If you're doing an analysis of a business process, palagi yang merong cost. Okay, so, if you see here in your step 1, you determine the process to be analyzed. So, you need to prioritize. Ang hinap naman ito, prioritize. Guys, hindi ganito kapangit yung handwriting ko. Huwag niyo akong i-judge. You need to prioritize what process you wanted to analyze. Okay? You need to prioritize as much as possible. It should be the business process which is the highlight of the business or the organization. Okay? Yun yung unahin mo, di ba? Kesa naman dun sa mga business process na hindi naman nagbibigay talaga ng ganung kalaking income sa organization. That's the first step. The second step is you collect the information about the process that will be needed to analyze. I have a question. Who should we reach out to? Okay? We are trying to collect information about the process. So, kanino tayo magtatanong, guys? Chat box, please. Who is our best provider of information here? Excuse me. Any guess? Okay, business users, yes. But be very specific. Sinong business users po? Sinong business users? Ano yung relationship ng business user na yan dun sa business process? Anyone? Anyone, guys? Wala. So, again, that business user should be the one doing the business, the process itself. So they should be involved in that process. Okay? Sometimes we call them the business process owner. Okay? So guys, kukuha tayo ng information dun sa tao na talagang nakakaalam what the process is all about. For example, hindi tayo pwede pumunta kay CEO. Yes, CEO is aware of the process, but he does not know all of the details. So it's very important for your step 2 to identify the correct person to reach out to. Okay, dapat yung alam yung pasikot-sikot sa process na yan. So it's usually the business process owner. Now, once you get the information, you need to map the process. What do you mean by map po? Meaning, you put it in a diagram, you put it in a flow chart, no? For you to have a better understanding and view of how the process work. Okay? Mas madali kasi siyang intindihin pag drawing, guys, no? And then, after you map the process, you analyze the process, no? From that process, makikita mo kung ma-identify dapat ni business process owner kung ano yung mga weaknesses, kung ano yung mga bottlenecks na they are experiencing in that process. You need to include all of those in mapping your process. Okay? You need to include those in mapping all of your process. And then you analyze the process. You identify the bottlenecks. You identify the good portion of the business process na hindi na kailangan i-improve. Okay? And then, at the end of the day, the main reason why we are doing a business process analysis is for you to improve the process itself. Therefore, you determine any potential improvements. And then you do another cost-benefit analysis to ensure if those potential improvements, if na-improve ba siya, will it entails better or will we have a benefit from that? Kasi guys, even though we are improving the process, but it is costing us a lot rather than the benefit that we get from it, wag na lang. Okay? Talo tayo kasi doon na parang, okay, improve mo nga yung process, pero wala naman tayong ma-profit from the process itself. Diba? Wag na lang. Okay? Those are the items that we identify during your business process analysis. Okay? So, you analysis all of the business process that are crucial to the operations. So, we need to prioritize. Okay? So, that's your business process analysis. Now, let's move on to your artificial intelligence. Ayan. Ayan. Artificial intelligence, guys. As you know, no, it's napaka-hot topic nito ngayon, no? Lalo't pumasok sa ChatGPT, yung mga AI na yan, no? So, it's also very important for us to be aware of new things that's happening around us, no? Even though we're not using it, it's very useful that we have an initial understanding of what those are for. Okay? So, let's see what artificial intelligence is. So, artificial intelligence it's a computer software designed to perceive, reason, and understand. It is the ability of a digital computer or a computer-controlled robot to perform tasks commonly associated with intelligent being. Okay? napapansin, guys? Wait lang po. Okay, sorry for that. Just to continue. So again, it's a computer-controlled robot. So this term is frequently applied to the project of developing systems endowed with intellectual processes, characteristics of humans, such as the ability to reason, discover meanings, generalize, or learn from past experience. Okay? So, when you call artificial intelligence, it's a fake brain. No, it's a fake brain because it's trying to mimic, it's trying to replicate the characteristics of humans. No, such as ability to reason, discover meanings, generalize, or learn from past experience. But, guys, take note, AI can never make a decision on its own. O hindi po kaya po niyang mag-decide, yes. But decide like how individual person or a human being can decide, hindi yun kaya ng artificial intelligence. Okay? Maybe you'll say now, bakit po yung mga smart CCTV, no? They can decide when to take orders because they were given commands, guys. Nag-set ka na ng rule for them. It's not their decision, but it's the rule that you have set on those smart electronics. No, it's not really their own decision, but they are just really following instruction. So kaya nga siya artificial kasi it's really doing some tasks na it seems they are the one deciding for it. But at the end of the day, it's just really the command is just really the instructions that are inputted or that are set into those machines or into those what do you call this one, to those robots. Okay, so that's why it's artificial. Now, there are two types of your artificial intelligence. We have your strong AI and your weak AI. Guys, you are in Abu Dhabi. I know technology there is high-end. No? So, yung mga smart houses, no, all of those are example of your weak AI. Si ChatGPT, the very famous ChatGPT, is also an example of a weak AI. Si Alexa, si Siri, all of them are example of your weak AI. Okay? So, ano pa yung example ng strong AI? Right now, wala pa. Okay? Strong AI is just on the book. But in application itself, wala pang strong AI. Because if you try to look into the definition of what a strong AI is, a strong AI is really like human brains. That it can decide on its own. Pero wala pa tayong ganun. Si iRobot pwede pa. Sa iRobot, if napanood nyo yung movie, that's an example of a strong AI. But let's be very real here. Hindi pa yun existing as of right now. And I'm hoping it won't exist. Because it's very scary. I'm so scared. No? I don't know. It's just my perception. But I think artificial intelligence, yes, they are very useful. But they are making individuals or they are making human beings less skilled, lazy, and less creative nowadays. No? I don't know what your take about it, but it's just my own opinion. Like, yes, it's really helping to improve our day-to-day lives, but it's making us, parang alam niyo yung mga sword, parang napupudpud yung human beings' capabilities and skills because of artificial intelligence. Because we rely to them too much. For example, kaya naiinis ako sa ChatGPT na to. Nag-rant na siya. Nag-rant na ako. The reason to that is that yung ChatGPT, guys, it can make you a whole thesis. No? Pwede mo lang ilagay doon yung topic mo. It can provide you a lot of input. I mean, wow, that's great. Yes. But why are we having all of this activities in schools and whatnot, diba? It's for us to improve our skills as individuals. But if we are relying to all of those artificial intelligence, no, hindi tayo nahahasa. Okay? Another thing is, they just had introduced in our firm, no, that you can now use AI or ChatGPT to perform your audit. That's nice. Yes, that's good. Because it lessened the work. But if you rely too much on it, nawawala yung quality of work. Nawawala yung quality of you as an individual doing the task. Okay? So, I don't know. It's just my personal take about it. But, ayun, lahat. My husband, like, set up our whole apartment. Naka-smart plug kami. So, lahat ng switch namin, naka-connect kay Alexa and Echo. And, guys, ang tamad namin tumayo just to, isara yung, switch off yung fan, yung aircon, yung ilaw. So, I don't know. It's good that we utilize them, but my only take is that we should be still responsible in like utilizing them. But anyway, in a business perspective, this is very helpful. No, this is very helpful, and it cost high investment in the beginning, initially, but in the long run, it actually gives a lot of savings, no, sa company. But the thing here is, what they have been saying before is that there will be one day that robots will be replacing humans. And it's already happening now, guys, because of this artificial intelligence. Because it's cheaper, you don't have to pay your overtime. It can work 24/7. Hindi siya pumapalya. Okay, unlike human beings, if you're tired, no, nagkakamali ka and all, for artificial intelligence, no, it does not. Okay, so scary. Anyway, so there are ways that artificial intelligence can be utilized to improve the efficiency and effectiveness of processing accounting data. So what they're saying here is they are utilizing your AI when it comes to processing your accounting data. So remember, we have different controls, no? Remember yung ating input, process, output, no? Usually, artificial intelligence na yung ginagamit nila doon. So the first one is you automate your data entry and analysis. Before, when you have some sort of like documents, print pa natin siya noon, tapos we manually input the informations in the computer. But right now, ni-scan na lang yung image, no? And then it will automatically populate. No? So, automated na siya. And then, The second bullet point here is that by continuously repeating the data process entry, the computer eventually learns to identify variances and anomalies. Thus, corrections can be made earlier and the integrity of the accounting reports is strengthened. Balik ako dito sa slide na to, guys. You can see here, on the last item, it learns from past experience. That's a very good characteristics of artificial intelligence. Ito po yung sinasabi niya dito. With regards to, it eventually learns to identify variances and anomalies. So, ang maganda kay artificial intelligence, by all of the data, all of the information that it is processing, it identifies variances, it identifies red flags. No? Kung ano yung mga bagay-bagay na dapat na tinitignan niya. So, it is learning. Okay? It is learning to identify variances and anomalies. Okay? Thus, corrections can be made early because, guys, artificial intelligence can go back to records in seconds. Okay? Compared to humans. Pag nagkamali yung human beings, it will take hours, even days, for them to go back and find that error. IA can do that in seconds. Okay? That's why companies right now are relying more on artificial intelligence. The fact that it's faster and the fact that it can go back to years of records to check on something in a very minimal time period. Okay? Because it's what? It's automated. It's computer. Diba? That's the first one. The second one is it reduces fraud. Ito na nga. It has the capability of reviewing the entire population. Ito yung sinasabi kung kaya niyang balikan. Kaya niyang balikan in seconds to check the records it's trying to validate. Okay? Or trying to check. And then, when it comes to accounting data, it also strengthens your expenditure disbursement policy. So, guys, meron tayong tinatawag na robotic process automation or what we call your RPA. Again, this is an example of a weak AI. So, RPA is a software that automates repetitive tasks by interacting with other applications to execute business processes that would otherwise require a human. So, RPA software can communicate with other systems to perform a vast number, again, take note, repetitive jobs. And it can operate around the clock with no human errors. Okay? So, usually, ginagamit natin your RPA for high-volume, repetitive tasks, low complexity, no? Faster and more accurate than human can. So, an example of this one is yung mga vouchers, no? Pag-input ng vouchers, pag-process ng mga vouchers, mga invoices, okay? So, hindi na siya manually ini-input ng human beings, but it is now done by RPAs or robots. Okay, just to clear, when we talked about robots, ako guys, personally, pag naririnig ko yung robots, ang lagi kong iniisip is something like Terminator, yung iRobot na ganon. But our robotics are also considered softwares. Yung mga software natin na naka-install sa mga computers, those are example of your robots as well. Because they are performing tasks. Okay? Say for example, merong software that responsible for putting up feedbacks, putting up deliveries, no? delivery informations, you communicate it with your carrier or whatnot. Those are examples of your RPA. Okay? So again, it's an example of a weak AI. Okay? RPA is used for repetitive jobs, no, high volume. Yung mga siguro 100,000s a day yung kaya niyang gawin. Mga ganon. So what are your benefits of using your RPA? First one is your simplicity and flexibility. So as I've mentioned, it's a software. It's just a program. Usually, it's a drag and drop functionality. What do you mean by drag and drop functionality? It's plug and play. Nabibili mo na yung software, isa-set mo lang kung paano yung settings na gusto mo, and that's it. You can use your RPA already. Okay? Number 2, I think this is very important. No? You increase your employee engagement. Guys, I don't know if you've seen this meme or reel in IG or in Facebook wherein yung empleyado, ginagawa lang niya, nag-i-scan lang siya ng invoice every day. Nag-i-scan lang siya ng invoice every day. That's the only task that is provided. Na-hire siya for that. Imagine, guys, you are just scanning files for 8 hours for 20 days in a month. Nakakabalo yun, guys. It does not improve you as an individual. It does not require you to do decision making. It does not improve your skills. No? It does not increase your employee morale. So, kaysa yung pagawa mo yan sa empleyado mo, let an RPA do it. No? RPA na lang ang gumawa. Ang mag-scan, mag-input, scan, input, scan, input. Yun lang ginagawa niya. Paulit-ulit lang. So, the best way to utilize all of this RPA is that you give this to RPA, those kind of tasks, and you give those tasks that requires decision-making to your employee. Okay? Usually, guys, yung iba, masaya na ganun lang yung ginagawa. But there are a lot of individuals, no, na majority, gusto nila yung parang na-enhance din yung skills nila. Kasi, guys, hindi ko alam, parang madedepress kayo lang yung ginagawa mo at the end of the day, di ba? So, that's one of the best, for me, benefits of your RPA. It increased your employee engagement. You need to put your employees' morale on high. Okay? Third one, high quality processes and output. Again, robots follow rules consistently. Kung ano yung ibigay mo sa kanilang rule, yun lang yung i-follow nila. They do not sleep, they do not take vacations, they do not get sick, and they do not make typographical errors. Okay? They also have a better record keeping. It decreases cost. Okay? Cost saving siya. Why? Yung purchase mo ng RPA software, yes, it's very expensive. But imagine how many transactions can an RPA finish in a day compared to a human being. Maybe it can process 100,000, 1 million transactions per day. Compared to a human being, mga 100 lang. So, faster, so decreases cost, and better customer service. Now, we also have what we call your limitations. Of course, hindi naman po perfect yung ating mga RPA. Meron din naman po silang imperfections. So, robots are not infallible, meaning they also make mistakes. Okay. Paano na pong mistakes? Actually, mas malala yung mistakes nila, guys, compared to human beings. Pag nagkaroon ng errors or nagkaroon ng mistake yung mga RPA. Why? Guys, remember, your RPA is based on whatever commands that you have set in the system. Okay? Meron kang command. So, sinabi mo, scan and just get this data. Okay? Ano man yung scan niya, ito lang kukunin niya yung data from that. Okay? So, ang mangyayari ngayon, guys, if that's the case, mali yung sinet mong settings. So, every processes will be wrong. Okay? Ganun kalala pag nagkamali yung RPA. So, it, again, boils down on how you set it up. Okay? So, again, robots still make mistake. Second one is that our advantage to these robots are that it cannot replicate human reasoning. It only follows instruction. It only follows whatever command you have inputted in that software or in that program. Hindi niya sasabing, oy, mali yung sinet mo. No, it won't do that. It will just follow. Again, robots have no common sense. And the fourth one is, management may be tempted to deploy RPA without relying assistance from the IT department. So guys, yung RPA kasi, yung itong software na to, itong program na to kasi, as we mentioned, plug and play lang siya. Drag and drop. Mabilis lang siyang gamitin. So usually, companies or organizations or departments are tempted, no, to utilize these RPAs. Now, without getting assistance from the IT department. Again, this is an IT-related task. So, it's still very important to at least engage, no, yung IT department when we are using RPA. Especially when we are integrating this RPA to other systems in our organization. Okay? So, that's your RPA. That's your artificial intelligence. Again, your strong and weak AI, we don't have them yet. I mean, your strong AI, we don't have them yet. It's just an idea of what should a strong AI is. Okay? So, we have a few more slides here before we go into our MCQs. So, let's take a quick break. Siguro mga 15 minutes or 20 minutes break and then we come back. 20 minutes break para makapag-rest kayo, guys. I know those are a lot of information. So, let's take a quick break and then let's come back. Okay? If you have any questions or if you have any informations or ideas that you wanted to share with the class, please feel free to do so. Okay? Please be back after 20 minutes, guys. Thank you.
Recording stopped.